In this video, we'll walk through setting up and configuring SNMP Autodiscovery jobs. From the Discovery menu in Device 42, you can select your SNMP jobs. This will show you all of your current jobs, as well as their configurations and run schedules. Adding a new job is as easy as clicking the Add SNMP Autodiscovery job button. On this new page, you'll have the option to name your Discovery job, and point to which remote collector you would like discovery to be performed on, and also identify the targets. These could be CIDR blocks, IP addresses, or domains. You can also list particular servers that you would like to exclude from discovery based on IP, as well as operating systems that we would exclude upon discovering if there's particular infrastructure that you would not like to have brought in. The default SNMP port is already defined here, but if you're using a non-standard port, you can set that option. You can also switch between SNMP versions, and when using SNMP v3, you can also change auth modes and provide the necessary credentials or protocols used. You'll also enter your SNMP user or community string, depending on the SNMP version. And you can also choose several other options here, such as whether or not you would like to strip the domain name from the device names, or give precedence to the host name when matching existing CIs within the system. You can also define service levels, or customers and departments, and object categories for discovered devices here. You can set Device 42 to overwrite existing categories as well if you'd like. And finally, you can add tags for any newly discovered devices here too. There is an option to turn job debug on or off. By default, we leave that off unless there's an issue that needs troubleshooting. In the advanced options below, there are quite a few other choices to make. You can choose to run Autodiscovery against CDP and LLDP neighbors. This will only be used if there's a single IP address in the range, to avoid endlessly running jobs. You can also choose to skip VLAN indexing. And by default, we will discover services on your load balancers and create devices for any IPs that are discovered on that load balancer that don't already exist. However, you could disable those options as well. Here you could assign a VRF group to discovered IP addresses, as well as a subnet category for any subnets that are discovered during this process. And again, whether or not you would like to overwrite those subnets. Some other options here for your network discoveries are whether or not you would like to discover all of the switch ports or not, and if a switch port is no longer found on a subsequent discovery, if it should be removed or not. You can also choose to use the interface alias or name for the port description, and to delete older port associations after they're stale for a certain amount of days. Continuing down, we have the option to ignore particular MACs based on their port prefixes, such as virtual machines based on VMware's MAC prefix, and particular VLANs to ignore or include from discovery as well. You can also choose to ignore ports by types within discovery. For chassis and blade systems, you can choose what naming convention to use, whether we try to get the name from SNMP or use serial number, or if we should try to append the serial number to the name, or just use the serial number. And when a module or blade is no longer found on a subsequent discovery, again, whether we should remove the association, delete it, change the service level, or do nothing. And for your PDUs or UPSs that you may be discovering, you can monitor those devices. So we could scan them on intervals that you could then define as well. And you could, again, set how we name those devices, whether you want to include the host name, the power unit name or serial number, and IP address. Finally, at the bottom is the Autodiscovery schedule. It's important to set this so that the discovery runs periodically. You could either set it to the current time or pick a couple convenient times here, or you could specify a specific time. You could also add multiple discovery schedules. These are the full discoveries, so these will run in the whole range and create new devices that are found. And then the polling interval is important to track power monitoring on a periodic basis, which will capture that data much more frequently.